Picture the smartest assistant alive. They have read every book ever written. Now lock them in a bare room. No phone, no laptop, no files. That's an AI today. Brilliant but cut off from your world. Let's fix that. Here is the gap. Ask your AI something simple, like how many sales you have made last month, and it shrugs. Your numbers live in your database, and the model was never handed a key. It isn't dumb, it's disconnected. Now imagine it could just do this. You say, move my 3 p.m. to tomorrow, and it edits your calendar. File a bug for this crash, and it opens the GitHub issue. What sold best last month? It queries your database. Summarize these contracts, and it reads your folder. That's the dream, and MCP it was makes it real. So here is the big idea. MCP is USB-C for AI. Before USB-C, every gadget had its own weird charger. Now there is one port and everything just plugs in. MCP is that one port. Any AI app on one side, any tool on the other. So what is it concrete? It's an open protocol. Anthropic started it and it's now widely adopted. It is a standard way to hand an AI both context and tools. And the shape is client server. Your app is the client and the tool sit behind small servers. For the curious, under the hood it's just JSON RPC or standard in out or HTTP. So your server can be in any language. Let's look at the pieces. You have got the host, the app you are actually in, like Claude or your editor. Inside it runs a client that speaks MCP. The client connects to one or more servers. And each server is what actually touches your world, your database, your files, your APIs. One host can talk to many servers at once. Every server can offer three things: tools, action the model can call, like running a query; resources, data it can read, like a file or a row; and prompts, reusable templates the server hands over. Tools, resources, prompts, that's the whole vocabulary. For the curious, every tool is typed with a JSON schema, so the model knows exactly which arguments are valid before it ever calls. So, how does one request flow end to end? You ask in plain English. The model decides it needs a tool and picks one. The client calls the tool on the server. The server does the real work and returns a result. The model reads it and answers you. You never see the machinery. It just feels like the AI suddenly knows your stuff. Let me make this real. I built a tiny MCP server over my own Postgres database. Honestly, it's almost this small. One tool, SQL string, read only results out. Now I just ask how many rows synced last write, and it writes and runs the query itself against my data. The first time that worked, it genuinely felt like the model had grown hands. This is where your real take goes. Step back and you see why this matters. Build a server once and every MCP app can use it. Switch AI apps and you rewrite nothing. And there is a shared growing ecosystem of servers you can just grab. Remember M times N integrations? This turns into M+N. Remember the locked room? This is the master key. Now, if you have used AI before, you might be thinking, isn't this just function calling? Not quite. Function calling is wiring your build yourself. Per app, per SDK. MCP is a shared protocol. Apps and servers already speak. Here is the line to remember. Function calling is the engine. MCP is the standard road. For the curious, MCP still uses tool calls underneath. It just standardizes the discovery, transport, and contracts around them. So they are portable. It's not all magic. Three things I got wrong, so you don't have to. You are granting real access to real systems. Scope every tool tightly. Auth is your job. Never ship secrets inside a server. Too many broad, vague tools confuse the model. Fewer, sharper tools win every time. Want to try it? Here is your first 20 minutes. Install a ready-made server, file system, GitHub or Postgres or Gate starts. Point your AI app at it and ask it something real. Then build your own. It's genuinely about 50 lines. That's MCP, the standard that lets your AI finally touch your world. If this made it click, subscribe because next I build a MCP server live from scratch. Build, learn, repeat. See you in the next one.